Hi everyone, my name is Jamie Roberts. Thank you for watching my idea for a play-based learning activity. Today I'll be presenting you Assignment 2, Mathematics and Numeracy. The maths concept I've chosen from the Australian curriculum is patterns within the environment. This learning intention is specific to preps between 5 and 6 years old. The content descriptor from the Australian curriculum states, children are to sort and classify familiar objects and explain the basis for those classifications. Copy, continue, and create patterns with objects and drawings. The elaborations for this activity are observing sounds, movements, or drawings. These two learning intentions will tie together nicely throughout my activity explanation. Next, I will discuss how my play-based learning activity is going to run from start to finish and what materials are needed throughout. There will be links to how this play-based activity is effective in supporting the development of mathematics and numeracy in prep age students, exploring modern pedagogy and relevant theorists. So, my learning activity is going to explore patterns using natural resources from outside the learning environment. To introduce the topic to the children, we will establish a general discussion about patterns and listen to different interpretations of what a pattern is. The educator will explain that the children are encouraged to go outside and find 3 different groups of natural objects. The educator will give a list of examples such as 3 leaves, 3 twigs, or 3 flowers. Children will work together to gather their learning materials and will then be asked to put the objects into a pattern. The students then need to think of different ways to use and sequence the learning materials so they can create different patterns. The students are encouraged to work together in their groups to create as many different patterns as possible. Here we see some examples of the expectation the educator is looking for. As you can see, there are 3 sets of materials in different colours. I think using different colours gives a good visual representation which can help students understand the patterns a bit better. Next, we see examples of expected learning outcome from the students. As you can see, there's a very clear pattern with the colours there, the yellow, red, and green. The educator will then take photos of all the different patterns they made with the thought of putting them up around the classroom for students to reflect upon. So how does this play develop children's math skills? This hands-on group activity helps develop children's math skills by engaging the children to think about spatial and visual processes, which can help be taught by using patterns. The children are using visualizations in a non-verbal manner, which the children create to have a mental image to represent a mathematical relationship. From a pedagogical perspective, using natural materials opens up opportunity for open-ended, imaginative play. Natural materials have different textures that children can explore, so this activity they're using their touch senses to feel and manipulate the sticks, flowers, or leaves. So what's the importance of development? How do students learn best? Well, play is connected with development because children are establishing experiences based off the emotions, motivation, and thinking patterns. These combine to connecting neural pathways in the brain, which drive to effective learning and development. My activity relates to the theory about constructivism. Sarah Szymanski is a social play theorist, and she suggests that children learn through constructive play, which encompasses using learning materials to create objects and patterns even if the child does not grasp the concept originally. The children are working through the material to create an outcome. This relates back to my learning activity because Szymanski suggests that children do learn mathematics and numeracy in a group setting using natural materials, which is reflected upon and used in my learning activity accordingly. So modern pedagogy is a framework of Queensland suggests that pedagogy aligned with curriculum intent and demands of learning area subject meets general capabilities and cross-curriculum priorities. My learning activity has aligned with the Australian curriculum because it has a cross-curriculum priority that has 2 elaborations as I described above. So, Brodsky quoted, play promotes both mental and social abilities in the child. My activity is based around this concept because children are encouraged to go outside and help each other learn through an adult-led activity. This hands-on activity helps develop children's math skills by engaging the children to collaborate and think about spatial and visual processes, which can be taught by using patterns. As the students are working together in groups outside, this supports my activity because it helps enhance their behavioural flexibility and ability to solve problems. Adapting to different environments and listening to other students' ideas helps scaffold their problem-solving skills and creating mental images of their learning experience. Angronelli suggested that rote learning was a successful teaching method in the past. However, in modern development of children, it is recommended that children learn through exploring and hypothesizing their own ideas by using critical thinking. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Here is my reference list which I used. Thank you. Bye.